Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. Deformed trees, mutated wildlife, and no humans for miles. 10 years after the disaster at Fukushima, see what this irradiated ecosystem can teach us about nuclear fallout on Radioactive Forest. Plus, looking for the most diverse marine life on the planet? Dive into the Coral Triangle and experience a frenzy of wildlife you've got to see to believe on nature's greatest secret. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, when you get into your 50s, you just get ornery. This is what's happened to Marianne. She lived with her cousin in Florida for the last 5 years. And earlier this week, she lost it when the cousin wouldn't stop blasting the same song over and over again on a loop. And, it happened at about 12:15 in the morning on Tuesday. So I can understand, here it is, you're probably trying to get to sleep. All of a sudden, this song comes on over and over again. And it's, the classic, the 1978 disco hit, Les Freaks. And if you don't know what that song is, let me give you a little sample of that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, over. And, all right, I don't need to see everybody dancing. That's come on now. All right. Steve's getting busy. Look at that. Red's getting busy. Hell yeah. Joey Dees is getting busy. Vicky is just, rocking back and forth in the chair. She's subtly like, all right, I'll be with this. 12.
I hate that song.
12:15 in the morning, over and over and over again.
I understand why she got pissed.
So it got so bad that Marianne shoved her 64-year-old cousin into the makeshift tiki bar that they'd set up.
Wait, so what's going on in this house? The 64-year-old woman is up at midnight blasting disco. Yeah.
She's got a makeshift tiki bar. She wants to party, Steve.
I think that explains everything right there.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 64-year-old cousin fell through the bar, landed face first on a speaker, and ended up with a black eye. And, of course, the cops had to come, and, Marianne was hauled away, domestic battery, and not allowed to have any contact with the cousin, which is kind of tough if that's where you live.
But what about the cousin? Is she allowed to play the song still?
I think now, here's what I think, Steve. I think that she wanted the Marianne out. You know what I mean? That's like torture. You see that in a lot of shows where they'll just play songs over and over again to some prisoner that they want to confess.
Yep. I'm going to drive this person out of my home by playing. Who is it? Was it Chic?
Les Freaks.
Was the artist? Was it like? Is it pronounced Chic or Chick? CHIC, right?
It's probably Chic. I mean, CHIC is Chic.
Yeah, that was the name of the artist. Did they have any other songs?
I don't know.
Or was she just playing the greatest hits of Chic, and it's just that song 12 times?
Yeah, that's the greatest hit. Yeah, right there. Look, you all started dancing, when it was played, so I don't know if that gets busted out at weddings anymore. It used to, back when I got married, because, I got married in the 80s, so that was a big wedding song. People would put it out there, people start getting up on the dance floor, but I don't think anybody's using that anymore.
Well, yeah, dude, we heard that song for 15 seconds, I was feeling it. If that song went on any longer, I might have punched Joe.
Right. Oh, you might have punched Joe? All right. Well.
Is there a song that you can listen to over and over again and not get sick of?
Ooh. Well, lately, I don't know. It probably brings me back to my dating days, I think. And so I'm getting nostalgic, which is what happens during COVID. Modern English is I Melt With You. I repeat that a bit. Yeah. Because that was a song that I really thought of with my wife. And when we were dating, I was like, man, this song speaks to me. I just want to be with you kind of a thing. So I've kind of got nostalgic for it.
Doesn't it hum at the end? It's like,
Yeah. Love that song.
Imagine being in the studio like, hold on, I want to throw this part into the song. I'm going to just hum into the microphone.
Oh, it works though, dude.
Excuse me? No, it does.
Yeah, it works.
See, the only thing I really think about with Melt With You is the fact that Burger King used it for a commercial some years back, like over a decade now.
They did?
Yeah, so the only time I ever, whenever I hear it, I just think about a Whopper.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You know, it's like Pavlov with me. I go back and forth. I think about my wife. I think about a Whopper. I'm not sure which one is what I'm wanting at the
Do you
moment.
ever think about humming into a microphone?
Excuse me?
One night now, I've been like super on a big Black Crowes kick. And shout out to Ryan Castle. He recently got to interview them for like a radio.com special that's up on our website and other places as well. He talked to the two brothers, Chris and Rich Robinson, because they just did a 30-year anniversary remastered version of their first album, and the first song off of that record, Twice as Hard, when that opening riff starts, I've been guilty of times after the song finished I just skip back because I want to hear it again.
Yeah, I can't blame you, dude. That's a good song.
Oh, just the whole record. It's just straight, and it's weird because like I typically don't like remastered albums. I'm like, I like it the way that it was done, but I really dig the remastered version of this record. I still love the original version, and it's not much of a difference. It's just a little bit, but it kind of adds a little bit more beef to it. It just sounds great.
Let's see if you go back to the original, because I'm that way about my TV shows when they remaster them and they go, you know what, the CGI or whatever, that wasn't existent, the special effects weren't that good. And I always was like you, it's like, I want both versions because I want to go, and you know what, I have never gone back to the original version. I'm like, oh, it looks so much better. And I wonder if you're going to have that same thing. Like, I have some remastered Beatles stuff. I totally like the remastered better than what it originally sounded like.
Well, one I know for sure, and I just recently did it. I was like, I want to listen to 10. Like, obviously we hear those songs a lot, but I just wanted to listen to it as a full experience from beginning to end. And when I put up on Apple Music, originally the first thing they give you is the Brendan O'Brien remixed version or the remastered remixed version. I was like, no, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, it did not sound like what I wanted it to sound like. So I made it a point I had to search and grab the original mastered version of Alive, the way that it was originally put out, because I like that way better.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, you got the ear for it. See, I don't know sometimes I don't know if I can tell the difference, and I feel like such an idiot. It's like wine. I go, really? There's a difference to that? And you go, yeah, how can you not hear that?
I've been guilty of that on some things. Like, it's remastered. Check out how different it is. I'm like, I'm not that big of a fan of this artist, so it sounds exactly the same to me, but cool. I'm happy you dig it.
Rev, is there a song that you're like, okay, when it comes on, I'm going to play it again?
Orgy.
No, it's not Orgy this time, but I do enjoy Orgy a lot. Actually, this is kind of like almost the polar opposite away from that, and it's Shiny Happy People by REM.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always fast forward through, I skipped that song.
And I know that they hated this song, and it didn't work with the album that it came out on, and I understand all that, but watching the video and hearing the music, it puts me in a good mood, and I love the song so much.
Dude, you should. I don't know if you've done it yet. There's I think it's called Song Exploder. It's a docuseries on Netflix, and they do Losing My Religion by REM, but they talk about Shiny Happy People and how, how that song just didn't really fit, but they, it's a really cool, it's about a half hour long, but it's a great little piece about that REM, that era of REM.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah.
All right, Vic, how about you?
Lately, for me, it's definitely been The Pop by Tool. I don't know why.
Can't go wrong with that song.
That's so good.
I love it, and it's part of my car karaoke routine. Like, I always, especially if I'm really tired and I want to, wake up a little bit, I'll start singing it, and I will play it over and over and over again. And I'm just glad nobody else is in the car because they would hate me.
See, I have debates from some of my friends that are big Tool fans, and I feel like that record, because that's on 10,000 Days.
I think so.
And that, to me, is their best record. And I always have, these,
Ooh, shots fired for a lot of Tool fans.
Well, some people they're like, what are you talking about? That's not their best record. I'm like, from beginning to end, I feel like that record, there's some songs that maybe are better on other records, but I think just as a total piece, I enjoy that one. All right.
Yeah, and again, it's how do you argue anything? I mean, I really like what Tool puts out. I like Fear Inoculum. I mean, I think it's kind of a crazy argument to have because you're right. 10,000 Days is a good album, and I guess I like that a little better than Fear Inoculum. But I really liked Fear Inoculum, and but you know how it is, man. If something comes out, you freeze. You just freeze in that point in time, and that's always going to be the best of whatever it is, no matter what the band does in the future.
Oh, yeah, and that's not to say that the other stuff is bad. It's just like, it's like every song, I'm like, yes. You can just enjoy the entire record. It's pretty badass. Somebody brought up Metallica, Battery, and they also said, did you catch them performing that song on Colbert's show? And they just did. Dude, it's going to make you feel old. But Master of Puppets, their record, I think it's a 30-year anniversary or 35-year anniversary.
I think it's
35-year anniversary.
Yeah, 35. Yeah, we forget Metallica's been around for a long time. I don't feel so old anymore because I already had my feel old Metallica moment. Like probably 10 years ago. And but it's surely when you hear 35, dude, we'll be looking at each other going, "Can you believe it's 40?" That's gonna come up on us quick.
Well, yeah, it means Kill 'Em All came out a few years before that, and oh man, yeah, they're getting old. Actually, I know, and we're all getting old. There we go.
It's so bizarre, but I mean, I look at the Rolling Stones, and they're the perfect example of look, it can be done. You can be really, really old and still relevant.
Yeah, but the songs that the Rolling Stones wrote, I think Charlie Watt, the drummer, Charlie Watts, he could play those forever because they're not anything crazy. Like I look at Lars, and he sounded great. I give him credit. The whole band sounded great on Colbert. I watched their performance. I really enjoyed it. But there's going to come a point where he's not going to be able to do double bass without possibly breaking his hip.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're absolutely right. Charlie doesn't really put a lot of effort behind the kit.
It's a different style of music. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Yeah, but see, on the other hand, nobody gets as crazy as Mick does on stage, which I thought for sure he would have broken a hip by now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but you make a good point, Steve. Some of those guys, it's like, okay, I mean, I remember they used to pump oxygen on the Grateful Dead stage because, man, those dudes needed it at the time.
The Sabbath guys too, when they would towards the end of when they were doing their stuff, they would pop off to the side of stage with oxygen tanks.
Yeah,
a lot of those old rockers have to do that.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, that's a hell of a workout. And, when you're in your 60s and 70s, that's why with Mick, I don't know what they're giving him. It's nuts.
Dude, how about, Kill 'Em All, Metallica's debut record came out in 1983. So in a couple of years, we're going to be celebrating the 40-year anniversary of that.
Wow. That's old.
How do we hit pause on time?
How do we hit pause
Once you find out,
time?
let me know, Steve, because I'd love to figure that one out.
Oh, you guys would like to figure that out? Maybe someone should figure it out over here first, okay? You two guys. We're in our 40s. I don't know how we're going to make it. Yeah, okay. Thanks. Thanks, both of you geniuses. All right, here's a question for you. How is it possible that a man is fined nearly $4,000 for being a bad singer? I'll tell you how at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. But we got people just pissed off when it comes to music. I mean, we originally told you about that 54-year-old woman who basically threw her cousin through a tiki bar because she didn't like the fact that the cousin was playing Lay Freak over and over and over again, which I can understand. I mean, you know, who wants to freak out that much?
Well, I mean, when you're 64 and you want to party at midnight on a Tuesday, wouldn't you want to listen to some good disco, BJ?
Of course. Get out Lay Chic for me. Let's do that. Now we get this 50-year-old guy in England. His name is Jason. And Jason, man, this dude just loved firing up his home karaoke machine. And he loves singing ABBA songs all night on Saturday nights. But
that just bothers me on a whole.
Yeah, look, I mean, whatever you want to do, fine. But the trouble is that he was rather loud. And he got more than 150 noise complaints about this. One of his neighbors told reporters, quote, "It has been a nightmare. I dreaded Saturday nights. It was so loud and his singing was terrible." Oh, yeah. So,
Dancing Queen.
Yeah. ABBA wasn't the only problem, though. I guess his renditions of Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, which,
nice.
man, I mean, that's a great song.
How does that one go? I don't even know that one, Alan.
We are the Sultans of Swing. Dun, 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 dun. It's one of the OG Dire Straits songs.
Yeah. I've never been a Dire Straits guy other than what's the one song of theirs? Is it the
Money for Nothing?
Yeah. The Chicks for Free. Yeah. That's the only one I know. I did not know Sultans of Swing.
Yeah, Sultans of Swing. I mean, it's a good song, but again, if you're not a good singer, and again, if you're playing it so loud and over again on Saturday nights, yeah. Blue Monday by New Order. Apparently, they weren't a fan of his version of that.
Oh, if we would have done the orgy version, Rev would be all about it.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah!
I think this is the most egregious offense, and I'm not sure which one you'll hate more, ABBA or Islands in the Stream by Kenny and Dolly. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's a great song.
How does that one go?
Islands in the stream.
That is what we are. That something between.
How can we be loved?
Oh, Rev knows it.
Come away
you
with
two
me.
should be duetting this at a karaoke bar.
Yeah, we should be. Yeah.
It might be one of the wife and I's karaoke staples.
Oh, well, then I can't do it, Steve. I'm not going to step away a true love.
Well, you know, maybe one of these times Michelle's not able to make it out. You could just you could be like the pinch hitter.
Oh, is that
swoop
what
in, the understudy.
Yeah, you could be my pinch singer.
Okay, great. I guess that means I got to be Dolly.
So wait, this guy would just do karaoke at home by himself?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, wait, you do it by yourself or do you do it with your wife at least?
Well, I mean, we'll do Rock Band some nights, but there'll be times when I'll just break out the old karaoke. I've got a PA at home. I've got microphones at home, and I've got a great sound system in the bar. And, I mean, literally the last party we had at the house last year was a karaoke party. I made sure to invite the neighbors so they could at least say that, they were included in it. But I'll just belt out stuff myself.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we sing along with music and you turn the stereo up real loud, what's the difference, really?
It really isn't much. I guess it's not as sad as I thought. But I think him just singing ABBA, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in court this week, this guy, Jason.
He went to court for this?
He went to court for this. I mean, 150 people complained, so he was really loud. When 150 people said, this dude is a nightmare, he got fined almost $4,000.
Whoa.
I mean, you can really be too loud. I suppose when you get to, over 100 people saying, okay, no, seriously, I'm telling you, then that's when the cops got to take notice and go, all right, this is just isn't a couple of neighbors. This guy sucks.
So you take out his vocal cords or just take his karaoke machine? I guess one's a little bit more extreme.
Well, I think the first offense is the machine. But, Steve, I think strike three. I think that's when the cords come out.
Oh, somebody says Leo actually did a remake. Leo from Frog Leap Studios, the heavy metal remake guy. He did Sultan of the Swing.
It's Sultans of Swing.
That's
Sultans of the Swing.
Yeah. Well, that's what the texter said. Leo Frog Leap Studios has Sultan of the Swing rendition.
Did you get that on the Twitter or on the Facebook, Steve, when you got the Sultans of the Swing?
What do you want? I don't know the song. I'm reading the text. Don't give me the hard time.
I'm giving you both a hard time.
All right, fine.
I'll give you the person's number. It's a classic song. It's a really, really good song, especially for, Dire Straits fans. So we have it?
Yeah.
We have Leo's version?
Yeah.
All right.
weird because I'm listening to this with zero context of the original.
Oh, we got to find the original. I think that you have to hear the original because it's a jazzy. Really, you just feel like you're in a smoke-filled jazz bar when Dire Straits is playing. Because they really are a jazz band that crossed over and had a couple of hits, but they're really jazzy. I mean, that's really their claim to fame.
Yeah, because that song, I'm like, okay, that sounds cool, but I really don't have any idea of what the original sounds like, so I don't know how epic that is. It just sounds like just a straightforward metal song.
Yeah, I got the original.
We got the original?
Yes.
All right, here's the original, which I do love this song.
Way on down south.
Oh, I know this.
Of course you do.
Oh, you know the Sultans of the Swing?
I didn't know the name of it, but yeah, of course I know this song.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
Wow, he really changed it up because this sounds nothing like this.
Oh yeah. And in this song, basically they talk about how the folks don't like them because they don't play rock and roll. Like they're basically talking about an experience of them, I guess, playing in front of a bunch of people that can't stand how they sound. And that's what I love about Sultans of Swing.
If there ain't no guitar is all.
Yeah, this song's badass.
It's a really good song.
I had no idea that it was called Sultans of Swing or The Swing.
Yeah. You mean, well, that's the chorus. How do you not know that? That's their chorus.
I don't pay attention to the lyrics, man.
Okay, fine, I'm done.
I'm just grooving.
All right. Oh, you're just grooving? Is that what you're doing?
Just grooving.
Oh, hey, man.
Look, it's not like I don't listen to it like once a week. I don't remember the last time I heard it. It's probably the last time we talked about the song, and then we probably,
Don't want to step on your groove, dude.
Just grooving, bro.
All right. There you go. Congratulations to you.
That seems like a song I could do karaoke. I get why he did karaoke to that one. You're just kind of talking.
It's a good one.
You're not really singing.
Yeah, super chill.
Man. Well, there's a lot. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's that jazzy talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so we all love Keanu Reeves, and the more we hear about what a great guy he is and all the charitable things he does, I mean, you even love him more. And he just plays these iconic roles where, really, is he acting? I don't know. But you know what? We love what he's in. And Screen Rant decided, hey, man, they rated every single Keanu Reeves movie from best to worst. And by the way, I got to give Screen Rant a shout out because I think that's where my pitch meetings YouTube videos on where they make fun of all the bad movies.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm all of a sudden becoming a Screen Rant guy and watching a lot of their videos. So your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? They got the 10 best. They also decided to give us the 5 worst. It's amazing. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff.
I'm trying to think of what would I put at number 1. I mean, I do love Bill and Ted, but I don't know if I'd say. Honestly, I'm leaning towards John Wick.
John Wick
I
is
think
number
that's his
4.
best movie.
Good call.
But you know what? You weren't far because Bill and Ted was number 3. I don't think any of us are going to get number 2. I mean, I totally forgot he was in this movie, and people think this is his second best performance. I think, well, look, if you don't know number 1, you should know number 1, even though you may not think it's his best performance. But
The Devil's Advocate.
A Devil's Advocate. Okay, I don't even. I mean, is that in the bottom? No, it's in the middle.
Al
I guess.
Pacino movie.
Well, I know the movie, but it's like, it's okay work.
Okay.
I mean, it's not his worst, not his best.
I'm not going to fight you over that one.
I think I'd argue. You guys probably know number 1, but I think I'd argue, is that his best work? I mean, it surely was an amazing movie.
Speed 2.
Speed 2.
Steve, he wasn't in Speed 2.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why
he didn't lower himself to that one.
Speed 1.
There you go.
Speed 1 was number 5. Yes, his number 5, fifth best work.
One.
Yeah. There's an obvious one that we're missing at, wait, you actually said it already, Steve. You said John Wick. But you know what? John Wick shows up a lot. Apparently people are loving John Wick's work because, that shows up at number 6 and number 7, 3 and 2 respectively. Anybody else got any suggestions on what they think Keanu's best work is?
I know it's not because I looked at the list and saw how far down this was. It was at number 50 and I'm really mad about it. It would be Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, that was a fun movie. I like that movie.
I rewatched it recently, and it's so 90s it hurts. I love it so much.
Hey, you're right, dude. I still have it in my collection. I love that. I don't have a Blu-ray yet. I've got to figure out if they made a Blu-ray for Johnny Mnemonic because I want it. I just have the DVD.
I don't even know.
What about Point Break?
Point Break. A good call, Steve. Number 9 on the list.
Oh, good.
FBI agent.
It's really funny that none of you have dropped number 1 yet.
Matrix?
There we go. That's the one, Vicky.
In my head, I thought we already said that. I just figured that it was a no-brainer if I didn't even think about it. You're right.
The most memeable freaking movie ever.
But here's the thing. Now, even in Johnny Mnemonic and all of these things, Is it his best work, The Matrix? I mean, the joke is that he had to act clueless in that entire movie. Like, he was always the guy that didn't know what the hell was going on. And I'm not sure that's a great acting performance. It's just like, oh, okay.
But the thing was the Keanu Reeves' best and worst movies.
Okay, so it's not his performance. It's just the movies that did the best. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, yeah, The Matrix definitely wins. Oh, wow. So number 2 is his best. See, number 2, I'd argue then, Steve. I don't know if like success-wise, if that's what they're talking, because number 2 is My Own Private Idaho, which I remember that movie, but was it a blockbuster hit?
No, but I think it was it's a movie that people have a lot of love for.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
It's a critic's hit. I
don't know the standards. I don't know if we're talking about, was the movie an amazing movie and he happened to be in it, or was it a blockbuster hit, or was it how well he did in the movie? Yeah, My Own Private Idaho. A little bit of
everything. It seems like it's a very vague best and worst. I mean, it's very subjective, of course.
Yeah, it surely is.
79% on the tomato meter, audience score 80%.
People love that movie.
Yeah, My Own Private Idaho is a good movie. I'm not putting it down. I just, I guess I misinterpreted this because I feel like he was in a lot more successful movies than that, even though this is well loved. So that was number 2. Matrix number 1, which of course, I mean, that movie was just fantastic.
So what's his worst?
His worst. I don't even know some of these. Generation the number 1 worst movie he's done.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it rocks at 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, apparently.
Okay, so
when the hell did he do this? 2012.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all.
Apparently need money?
Well, sometimes they're not all hits, Steve. I mean, he's done over 50 movies, like Rev said.
The tagline in the movie poster alone makes me not want to see it. It says, Generation to survive, you must discover who you are or not. ...
It does sound interesting. How about Exposed? Remember that one?
No. Never even heard of it.
I love the number. I love how these two follow each other. Exposed is the number 2 worst movie, and The Watcher is the number 3 worst movie. Sounds like they should be a double feature.
Yeah, right.
I never even heard of Exposed.
Yeah, the one movie I have heard of, the number 5 worst is Little Buddha. I remember that one.
I don't even know what that one is.
And I don't think that
some movies that I never heard of.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Because they suck. Yes, that's right, Vicky.
Yeah.
I was looking at, because I always love when people share the fun facts about Keanu Reeves, because he's always seems like a cool dude. But one I did not know about until actually just a few minutes ago, and I looked up on a website that has a bunch of facts about Keanu Reeves. Did you know that his band Dogstar, that he was in a long time ago, but one time opening for them, and it was their first ever gig back in 1992. And BJ, you'll appreciate this. A little unknown band by the name of Weezer.
Really?
Weezer's first show was opening for Keanu Reeves' band.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's kind of cool.
That is really, really trippy. Yeah, whatever happened to those guys at Weezer? They do okay?
They're not as good as Dogstar, but they're all right.
They're trying. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
In the 1890s, what type of cheese did a California man named David Jacks introduce?
Fermunda?
No.
Pepper Jack?
No.
Monterey Jack?
Yes.
I love that. You really sussed that out, Steve. I was like, oh, son of a gun, of course, Monterey, California. Son of a...
Oh, I went with just the Jack part.
Yeah.
His name.
Okay. Good call. Well, it was California, too.
We all have our ways of figuring things out.
I gave you more credit than you deserve.
Yes, you actually did.
Okay, never mind. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We'll play Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I can't afford to pay my bills, how am I going to afford attorneys and bankruptcy fees?
One of the things people ask me all the time as a bankruptcy lawyer is that how am I going to pay all these fees and costs because I'm here because I can't afford to pay my bills. And of course we understand that. I mean, being in the bankruptcy field. But one of the things to remember is that if you decide, once you make the decision to file bankruptcy, you can stop paying on all of the creditors that are going to be included in the bankruptcy, and those are the funds that you can use that you have been paying your creditors to pay your attorney fees and court costs to get your case filed. And once your case is filed, you're not going to have most of those payments anymore.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.